Naga jingkren baka sorkar cila ka thum pentrikam ya ka ain ka ba seriam ya ka inaline permit ILP wat abala menjur da ka resolution na ying do bar thawain ka jala Meghalaya nrius nem menchwa ka ta bandawa bai nak sorkar India ban pentrikam bai da ka inaline permit ILP katkum ka Bengal Eastern Frontier Regulation BEFR Syajar praspa nyupulai berbanjada na kejingwan rung kertep kimendir saka jala u Dr. Mukul sangma ameli ke All India Trinamool Congress AITC na songsak bat nongilam kaliang persya hayeng dorbar haka sipau terik ukulal kot arjar funrio ulo ong baka Meghalaya Residence Safety and Security Act MRSSA arjar kan rio kadai ka ain ke bakongsan na kabenta ke cingsokya ya ke jingwan rung kimendir ulo ong bau konrad ke sangma kumumintirang ba haka por pembenjur ka resolution ulakren na kabenta ka sorkar India ulo ong badai ban pentrikam ya ka MRSSA arja kan rio kanang ban sngot hu kumnu kayada bat kenther ya ka sorkar jela bamenta ka bapha ya ka MRSSA amendment bill arja arpo ka baklem yang hakmat kan dak bakenoru bakadai ka jimam ler trikam Dr. Mukul ulo ong bau sngosenai bat kentho ru yu ba Prestone tensong sembut mitrang ba dak ba ong bau dei ubadan bentalang hak bentau ya ka MRSSA arja kan rio kat ba mentapat u Thok ikpai ba kapun selapat kejelahi barokawai u Dr. Mukul ulo ong bau kop yu ba Prestone ban Ïatai lada ong ba ka MRSSA arja kan rio kamlong ban pentrikam ulo ong bala da trekam ka MRSSA arja kan rio kin kamja ba wat ka kam khaido yong be ain namar on hab ban pendai ko CCTV hakeleng kisurok ba
when they don't mean what they say, then that is what you see. So different political leaders, different leaders who have the privilege of running the government have different way of doing things. Some try to do things, engage in some kind of initiative, embark upon some kind of policy decision for consuming time and allowing the time to continue to be in power. You see? Now, tell me one thing. Why was the Meghalaya Residence Safety and Security Act enacted? What is the background? And after this act was enacted, unanimously in the House, where every political party which still have a circulation in the state politics were involved. But immediately after, the incumbent government formed their government in 2018, they immediately tried to discuss on the possible amendment of this MRSSA Act without even starting to implement. We laid out certain foundations to implement this particular mandate of the Act. If you recollect, there were joint inspection of the areas where we had to establish entry-exit points. Now, entry-exit points, in as far as the Act is concerned, were all referred to as facilitation center, and to be taken care of in matters of dealing with the mandate of the law. In as far as the mandate for that facilitation center is concerned, this responsibility was vested upon Tourism Department. Why? There are reasons. These whole things were discussed exhaustively at the time of formatting the whole proposed bill. We have co-authored this act. It is not that Dr. Mukul alone has authored this. It was authored by the government in consultation after exhaustive due diligence, not a shortcut way or overnight thinking process, some bureaucrat sitting and then drafting the act. No, it wasn't. It was co-authored by government with our stakeholders. ILP is not a state subject. So I couldn't have promised to implement ILP, unlike the present Chief Minister, unlike the incumbent Chief Minister, because I know I cannot promise on behalf of Government of India, and I cannot take the Union government for granted. And I knew that I did my homework. I tried to know whether they will agree or not. When I knew that they will not agree, then I said, okay, then let us come with some other alternative. The alternative which is given to you as per the mandate of the Constitution, in as far as the legislative jurisdiction of the state legislature is concerned. So we work on this available limited space. the limited space available in as far as the legislative jurisdiction to the state legislature is concerned. We didn't overstep, but we went as far as possible. So playing at the edge, I always used to believe playing at the edge is always good, because that is where then nobody can actually supersede you. So we played up to the level of which I can say tightrope walking, but we did do this with the involvement of all stakeholders. MRSSA is so designed that once you implement, you will know, okay, where you need to further reinforce and add certain provisions. But implement first. Today, what has happened to those identified areas which were supposed to be identified for entry-exit point? In other words, as per the law, the facilitation center. The government has lied to the people that it is because the court has said that in absence of proper guidelines, these facilitation centers should not operate. In absence of guidelines, whose job it is to give the guidelines? Whose job it is to prepare the guidelines? How the facilitation centers shall operate has to be governed by some guidelines. They didn't do their job. They cheated the people. That's why the MRSSA couldn't be implemented. Then subsequently, somebody took this MRSSA for judicial scrutiny. But this MRSSA, Meghalaya Resident Safety and Security Act 2016, have withstood the judicial scrutiny. But the proposed amendment went beyond the legislative jurisdiction of the state. That's why MHA has returned. That means you go beyond your job, beyond the mandate of the Constitution. Don't you know that when you go beyond the mandate of the Constitution, your action will become constitutionally infractuous? It is. Therefore, one has to know the job to which he is empowered to, the limitation thereof. We are in a federal structure. We cannot temper upon any subject which is in the union list. Yes. Therefore, when we make law, it must be well understood by the authors of that proposed bill, which ultimately, if passed by the House, will become an act after the consent, after the assent of the Honorable Governor, that we skillfully script the law within our legislative jurisdiction so that it can always withstand any judicial scrutiny. Full stop. Once you go beyond, then that so-called bill will be sent to Government of India. Why? Because you have already overstepped. So Governor cannot assent. That means indirectly the government had a mala fide intention to make this MRSSA Act ineffective, or wanted to put it in a cold storage by default. So by default, the MRSSA, Meghalaya Resident Safety and Security Act, became unimplementable with that proposed amendment. So the amendment has failed, but the principal act has not failed, because they wanted to amend which goes beyond their legislative jurisdiction. I cautioned the government at the time of this exercise. They didn't listen to me. They didn't listen to the co-author. They thought they are better authors. And look at the end result. I pity their legislative competence. I pity their legislative competence. I repeat it. I am the author. He was also co-author. He was also there while we were discussing. And if he wants to, somehow, take shelter under this kind of misinterpretation of the mandate of the law, I pity him. But at the same time, I'm angry also because he is lying to the people. He is lying to the people who have elected him. He is lying to the people of Peninsula also. Are Peninsula people not concerned about immigration? They are, yes. Yes. He is lying to his own people who have given mandate to them. Yes. If this is not there, now how is the mandate of a law implemented? Once a law is, rather, I would put it that way, once an act is notified, it becomes effective from that given indicated date as per the Gazette notification. What is the other responsibility of the government? come up with the rules. Come up with the rules for implementing any act. Once you have an act, you should have a rule to implement it. So who is stopping him from making that rule? That is exactly what the Honorable High Court has referred to, in absence of proper guidelines. So if the proper guidelines, that rule pertaining to implementation of that mandate of the law is not properly designed, who is stopping him from doing it? After the observation of the Honorable High Court, how many years have passed? Why they couldn't do? That means they have a mala fide intention not to implement this. I will tell you why they don't want to implement this. Now, what are the other aspects? Because the law revolves around safety and security. Because that's the actual subject which is vested with the state government, rather the state legislature. Law and order is a state subject. So, take advantage of this huge space of responsibility vis-a-vis the particular list I'm referring to. Now, in order to ensure safety and security, there are certain things. Now you talk about so many petty crimes. Why are they grappling with the solution to deal with this problem? Because what we started as per the mandate of this act, all this habitation must also be with that intent of ensuring safety and security of the residents and the state as a whole. Proper CCTV along the national highways, CCTV along the state highways. Now tell me, if these CCTVs would have been all along the national highways and state highways, they could have easily checked coal mine, that illegal coal transportation and illegal coal mining. They want to allow illegal coal mining. That's why they are not implementing this. Let me tell you, and let them come and debate with me on this allegation. Yes, the moment this act is implemented in letter and spirit, no illegal transportation of illegal mine coal can take place also. Because the diverse positive outcome when we implement this mandate of this act is so huge, it becomes the eyes and ears of the authorities of the government. Therefore, they want to keep their eyes closed. And they don't want to hear, even though here you have seen, okay, the denial mode, bring evidence. Is it the responsibility of the citizens to bring evidence all the time? What the hell the government is doing then? Is the government not responsible to protect the interests of the people and protect the interests of the state? When they fail, it becomes their incompetence, and it is also interpreted as corruption. When the authorities concerned knows that certain illegalities are taking place and they don't take action, then it is interpreted as an offense under Prevention of Corruption Act 1988. Read the Honorable Supreme Court judgment. Simple. So therefore, they have a mala fide intention. That's why, all this hue and cry, because we want something to protect the interests of our people. Now, if they don't have the basic trust in the positive outcome of this MRSSA 2016, let them come up with another act of our own state legislature. The state legislature has enough space to script any act to protect the interests of our people. The constitutional provision is capable of giving the state to come up with various laws which can, somehow integrate and amplify each other. Why don't they come? The job of the people who are elected is not only running the government on the basis of the laws which already exist. We are all lawmakers. That means we have to make law. And when we make law, we should know how to make law. We are lawmakers, we are not lawyers. Yeah, we are lawmakers. We are the authors of laws which we enact and pass in the assembly. Similarly, MPs, the members of parliament, they are authors of law which are enacted and passed by the parliament. So it is the job. We are called lawmakers. I think we are forgetting this particular crucial responsibility which is vested upon all of us. Now they take this issue to Government of India, then they will tell, okay, we have requested. If they don't do it, what will you do? You will still have time. Election is 2008. So they will say that, okay, after election we will work it out. We will pursue with Government of India. This is not going to happen. People of the state are intelligent and they are watching their every move.
Haba thin, page bahagi kishap plus F.
Ka plus F?
Hakabam bangibam dunaki eki bataya kamet. Namar kata haba thiru atau kau kamlu ka umpnyang kadut page ya kishap plus F haka jingsom. Yaki nutrient kumki vitamin bat ka iron la icon diat bat ka bathau bha kam kta ka dur jingki marbam ka jingmat lani ka rukom shed yaki. Balehi banai kita. Kadon ka we ka jing mentoy ba kongsan. Ka kot ka kia. Ka nutrition ba khambha ka jing im ba khambha pendon kam daki marba modon ka sharp plus F menta kasni.
Lawan Ra Shafi Lingba ko office jong Commissionerate of Food Safety Meghalaya.